Okay. So I am live again today, Tuesday. I think Tuesdays will be my live live sharing day. Mm. I'm feeling a bit I'm feeling a bit shaky today. Uh, a nervousness or just this something that's about to whew, be released or birthed out of my body. Mm, it's almost like it's waiting. Earlier today, I felt it below my diaphragm, but now I can sense it. It's like it's moved from below my diaphragm to. It's almost like it's a bubble resting above my diaphragm. Mm. And I think that it's because, or I don't think, I know it's because this receiving, um, the practice of receiving it, it's a very very vulnerable uh, practice. It's a practice I feel extremely vulnerable in. Hey Natalie. And I asked in my stories yesterday about if how you feel around receiving gratitude or appreciation. And there was quite a few. Hi Emma, quite a few of you that just like me feel that receiving is can be really challenging or difficult. And I think before we or not even before. I think we're gonna start with a practice of arriving, which I think is always super important, no matter what we dive into. And as I've said before, it feels like something that we easily miss when we engage in social media because we're just consuming information. But I want to give you an opportunity to be present with how this lands in you and what you want to take away from this session. So maybe you can begin by noticing what is alive in you in this moment. So um, if you joined a bit later, it's super hard to receive gratitude. Oh yes. Mm. Question myself, can I do this again? Or what if next time I do this? It is difficult. Mm. So I shared just at the beginning that I could feel like there's a bubble, almost like it feels like a big bubble that's just sitting on top of my diaphragm when I think about this or when I sense into receiving gratitude or just receiving. And maybe you want to take a moment to sense uh, what what that feels like in your body. If you That could be remembering when someone uh, offered their gratitude or appreciation or offered a gift to you, um, what that kind of feels like in your body. And as you're doing it, I invite you to relax. See if it's possible to slightly relax your jaw. Kind of let the awareness sink in more into mm, the sort of lower parts of your body. Not that your head and your jaw is not part of your body, but I often feel that this relaxing of the jaw is like the invitation to sink a little bit deeper into body. As I do it, I can feel that this bubble that I'm experiencing, it wants some, it's, there's a movement there. Notice what you're experiencing. Mm. Hey, Erika. So notice what you're experiencing. And then and then see if it's possible to stay with whatever it is that's happening in you, even if it's nothing. Uh, Maybe there's a place in your body that wants to be held. I'm gonna place my hand on where I experience above the diaphragm in my body. Maybe there's a different place in your body. And see if it's possible to stay in that experience. And if your eyes are closed, to open your eyes and look away from the screen and begin to look around the space that you're in. But from whatever it is that you're experiencing in your body, to look around slowly, taking in the space that you're in. Maybe look at the colors or textures. Maybe you see different shapes. So that you know that you're here. You're here in this moment. And maybe find something that you can rest your gaze at, something that feels juicy or interesting, soothing. I have this very interesting plant that I'm looking at. It's really deep green, and the leaves are just a bit chaotic. Uh, but it's very present with me. That plant. Mm. So I want to share my experience. Um, what I've when I've sort of explored this receiving. And there's a story, a memory that often comes to mind that is actually not about receiving, but about giving. Um, so I was, uh, I was 7. I was 7 or 8 years old. So I was this sensitive. Let's say I was 7. I think I was 7 years old. This sensitive 7-year-old that just felt so deeply for the world. And when I loved something, I loved it like, ooh. I loved it with my whole body. It was like, um, it was a love that I came to realize people scared other people. I realized that later in life. But anyways, so I had a crush on this boy. I think he was maybe 3 or 4 years older than me. I saw him in hello Naomi. I saw him at school in the school corridors, and it was it wasn't like an obsession. It was just like some I just when you have like it was my first crush on someone, uh, and I really wanted to express and share my uh, love for him. And I lived on the countryside, so I spent a lot of time in the forest. And one day I found it was like I don't know how you say, a watch that you put on your wrist, like uh, a grown up watch. Anyways, so I cleaned it. I found it in the forest, and I cleaned it, and I made uh, a card to him about how I don't remember. I don't think I could write, so I probably just made some hearts, and it was like I really wanted him to. I really wanted to show my love to him. And so in school, I gave him the watch and the card, uh, and I did it in front of all the other students. I wasn't shy at that time, um, and it just felt so. It just felt so good to give someone a gift and to show my appreciation of him, show him my love. And it became a whole big thing because his parents and the teachers thought that I had stolen that watch from someone, even though I had found it in the forest. And he had to return the watch to me, and I had to go to the principal's office, and I was um, punished for that, for giving him that gift. And every time that I'm tapping into receiving or even to giving, that is the memory that comes up for me. So just the memory of the shame of feeling that giving appreciation or showing my love in that way was somehow wrong. And that is kind of the my 7-year-old self that's just sitting there in school so confused about why what I gave wasn't received, or why it wasn't seen as mm, seen as something beautiful. Mm. So, and something I've noticed is that a lot of people who find that receiving is difficult might also feel that that really giving giving the fullness of your gratitude or appreciation to someone can also feel a bit uh, it's a very vulnerable act. Mm. So I don't know what this story, what it evokes in you, um, but I would like to offer you to take a moment. So again, to relax your jaw and let yourself sink into your body. You can choose to look at something in the room, or you can close your eyes. whatever feels comfortable for you. And as you're sinking into your body, I invite you to take a journey, take a journey backwards in time. Hi to everyone who's joining. We're in the middle of a practice, so you can always watch the recording later. Mm. So to take a journey back in time and ask yourself, is there any moment in your life where you've you've given something, you've given something to someone that you look up to or love or appreciate, and it hasn't been received. Or if there is a memory of maybe receiving something and then you've, uh, you've somehow been felt that you owe that person something. So any memory of when this giving and receiving hasn't been um, where there's been shame or ridicule or punishment or something involved in that experience. Take your time. And if you're maybe you're beginning to find some part of you that um, feel very vulnerable or tender when it comes to receiving or giving. And once you once you begin to find that part, it can be a younger you, a younger version of you. See, and if you can ask that part of you what it needs, how can you support that part of you? So, for example, if I'm feeling back into that 7-year-old self, what she really needs is to be held, held and hugged and told that it is okay. It's okay to feel that kind of love for another human being. It's okay. She didn't do anything wrong. She needs to hear that I'm here with her. What does that part of you need to hear or experience? You can even say it out loud to yourself. Do If there's a movement with your body that needs to happen, you can do that movement. Really let it take time. Know that you're here now. So whatever happened in the past happened in the past. Maybe if you give that part of you what it needs, maybe you begin to notice that it's changing. That whatever the initial sensations were, that they're changing. And see if you can allow that change to happen. Mm. And wherever that um, vulnerable or tender part of you that might find that it's difficult or challenging to receive or to give, you can keep your hand there if it's possible to keep a connection. And if your eyes are closed, to to again open your eyes and to begin to look around the space that you're in, just like we did in the beginning. And through your through the use of your eyes, begin to receive whatever it is that you see. So receive the colors, textures, the shapes, and see if you can find something in the space that you're in that that you feel a connection to, or that feels pleasurable, soothing. It can be a shape, a color, an object. And see if you can, so through your eyes, receiving that, uh, whatever this object or color is sort of sending you. See if you can receive it all the way through your eyes into your head and your brain and down through your body into that space that felt tender, vulnerable. And that you're just you're I often use the word just. It's a habit of mine. You're receiving, receiving, receiving. Nothing else has to happen. And it can sometimes be that in the process of receiving that there's this um, it flips over to I have to give something in return. If that happens, see if it's possible to pause in the receiving, pause in the receiving. Mm. Notice what happens in your body. Hmm. So for me, a practice has been this has been a really potent practice. This the pause in the receiving, to pause in the receiving and stay with the sensations, whatever the sensations are. Sometimes they're expansive, sometimes they're super contractive. Um, and that can go the other way, like in the giving, to pause in just the action of giving, um, and pause with the sensation of I'm giving my gratitude or appreciation or a gift to someone, and pause with the sensations of giving. Mm. So it's a practice, um, at least for me personally, a practice worth pursuing, because it's also what um, helps me deepen my relationship to myself and to the world around me, the people in my life. Mm. And I don't necessarily think that 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 we should try to keep ourselves open when we practice receiving or giving, but rather to it's more about that, can I pause in whatever is happening? Because there can be a lot of a lot of information and sensations and memories if we that can come to the surface that can be valuable and give information about why is it so difficult. So like that memory that keeps coming to me, and then every time I can go back to that 7-year-old self and be like, it's okay. It's okay to love that much. It's okay. Um, mm, mm. So this was this Tuesday's live. I was shaky and nervous in the beginning, and now I feel more settled. I'm hoping that you got something valuable out of this. I adore that the pause in the receiving so potent. Yes, it is potent. I think the pause. I don't want to be a fundamentalist or 100% anything, but it's very rarely that a pause is not potent. Um, mm, pause and see. I think that the pause is really where we can go one layer deeper, one layer deeper. Mm. So I have an intention of doing uh, Instagram live sessions every Tuesday at 9 a.m. Central European time. I don't know exactly what they're going to be about. If you have something that you want me to dive into, you can write to me. Mm. Uh, and my intention is to show up as I am. Like this, I started this session shaky and nervous. Um, yeah, this is a practice for me as well to uh, to be here with you. Okay, thank you. I allowed my body to receive, to listen in the pause and go deeper, so the tender parts could soften. Mm, beautiful. I can also feel that bubble that I had in the beginning. It's a bit softer. I feel more in connection with it. Mm, mm, okay. I wish you a beautiful day and practice to pause and receive and give. Okay. Much love.